Hi, everyone. My name is Ana Martha Ayala, and I'd like to welcome you to my YouTube channel. This channel is dedicated to trying to teach you the degree theory by the late Nikola Stojanovic. And so in today's video, I wanted to discuss with you the two malefics of astrology, right? Mars and Saturn. So yes, they're malefics, but they also have good points, right? Mars rules to be brave, to be independent, to be active, to be hardworking, enthusiastic. Like Aries initiates a whole bunch of stuff, but doesn't necessarily finish all of them, right? Um, to be the leader, to have muscles, right? It also rules heat, something very hot. It rules fever, the man's sexual parts, and also inflammation. One of the best things that you can do if you're trying to learn astrology is to learn the rulers of each sign and the detriment and the fall, right? So it will start to make sense. So the first thing I wanted to talk to you about is Mars. Now, Mars rules Aries and Scorpio. So it's the ruler of these two signs. And Mars is exalted in Capricorn. So what happens if you have Mars in Taurus, in Libra, in Cancer? So Mars in Taurus and Libra is at its detriment because detriment is the opposite of rulership. And in Cancer, it is at its fall because it's exalted in Capricorn. So again, it's the opposite of Capricorn, Cancer, exalted in Capricorn, in fall in Cancer. When you have people that have Mars in these planets, Libra, Taurus, and Cancer, then the energy, because Mars is energy, Mars is, get up and go action. But not in these signs. Um, for the most part, if you have Mars in a detriment, then your energy is going to be very slow. People with Mars in Taurus eat extremely slow, and I mean extremely slow. If you go with them to dinner, right, and you have like a big group of people, everybody's either on dessert or waiting for the check, and these people have not finished eating their main meal. And I'm not kidding. Um, Taurus rules the second house in a natural birth chart. The second house rules what you eat. Therefore, Mars in Taurus, they have very, very low energy when it comes to eating. They have low energy in general, but I mean that's why they eat so slow. Okay. Um, with Mars in Cancer, this position it rules procrastination. Mars in Cancer is the type of person that's like, oh, give me a few minutes, I'll do it later. Or I can't do it today, I'll do it tomorrow. Or you know what, next week, next month, next year. And then they're always procrastinating. A lot of times stuff doesn't get done. Even if you're on top of them saying, hey, listen, you got to pick up your shoes or you got to do your laundry or you got to pick up your room or whatever. Tomorrow, next week, I'm tired. And they're not lying. The energy is not there. So keep that in mind if you have a child with any of these positions, right? With Mars and Libra, Taurus, and Capricorn. I mean, not Capricorn, Cancer. I'm sorry. Um, the energy is not there. Just like if you have Mars in the 12th house, it's not a good placement either. Your sleep can be interrupted. You can sleep in spurts, but you can't sleep for, continuously. well, for a long period of time. So if you don't get a good night's sleep, your energy is not going to be good. Therefore, they're not lying. This is how they're built. And if you understand that, then you won't get upset at your spouse. You won't get upset at your children. So, try to understand, right? What's how it is. So with Mars in Libra, these people, these natives have a difficult time initiating a relationship. Why? Because they fear failure. Well, if I ask her out, is she gonna, most likely she's gonna say no, right? The fear of rejection stops them from trying to initiate a relationship. With Mars in Libra, if you like uh, a boy or a girl with that placement, then maybe you're the one that needs to initiate some type of conversation to see if they will be brave enough to ask you out, or maybe you can even say, hey, let's get together for coffee or whatever. It's break time at work or something like that, and give them enough confidence to start a relationship. Okay, because it's not their forte. Even though Libras, their whole thing is about relationships, right? Their whole life, like getting married, having a partner. That's what these people live for. Mars in Libra, it makes it very, very difficult. So with the correct placement, well, not the correct, but with Mars and Capricorn, you have people that are super ambitious, right? With Mars and Scorpio, these people are ready for sex anytime, anywhere, now, right? They go for it. Mars and Aries, they are trendsetters. They go where angels fear to tread, right? So the opposite signs are going to have a different effect. That's all I'm trying to say. So now I wanted to talk to you about Saturn, which is the other malefic, right? But I don't see it as such a malefic, because Saturn is the planet that gives you the best rewards. If you have been um, disciplined, if you have been honest, if you have been hardworking, if you have been ethical, you will get the reward. Okay. Now, if you have been dishonest and you haven't, taken shortcuts and done things underhanded and stuff like that, then that's a different story. Then basically you're going to reap those rewards, right? Because a lot of people think that Jupiter it is the great benefic, but Jupiter brings opportunities to you, which you need to take, you need to take them. You need to take advantage of them. If not, the opportunities goes away. With Saturn, you get the rewards after the planet transits that house that it's currently in. So what does Saturn rule? Saturn rules limitations, obligations, commitments. It is the most difficult sign of the zodiac. I'm not gonna lie. It rules time, but it rules also the most beautiful things are ruled by Saturn. The Great Wall of China, right, is the only structure that can be viewed from outer space. And China is ruled by Libra. Saturn is exalted in Libra because Saturn also rules, well, Libra rules marriage, right? So the wedding rings are ruled by Saturn. Anything having to do with marriage. And in that Aries Libra axis, right, the sun is exalted in Aries and Saturn is exalted in Libra. So that's why marriage gives you a lot of life, a lot of vitality, but it also gives you sorrows and responsibilities and commitments and difficulties. It's anybody that has been married or has been in a very long-term relationship knows that there are a lot of ups and downs, and it takes hard work to stay in that relationship and and make it, right? Saturn also rules things that last a long time. It also rules to defend something, right? So, God forbid if you have somebody that's trying to break up your marriage, you will defend that, and that is ruled by Saturn. So, what happens with people that obviously the ruler of Capricorn is Saturn, and the detriment is Cancer, and then Saturn is exalted in Libra and it's at fall in Aries. So, what happens with people that have Saturn in Cancer and Saturn in Aries? So, if you have Saturn in Aries, be very careful with breaking your bones, um, your teeth, and having that in Aries. Be careful, like when you're doing sports because Aries rules sports or um, exercise, stuff like that, because you might break something and it will be a bone. All right, Saturn in Aries. If you know people that have Saturn in Aries, then that means that these people will never grow up. They won't mature. They're always going to be a kid at heart, no matter what. They can have a lot of problems with their teeth because Saturn rules bones and teeth are bones. Um, and most likely with Saturn and Aries, these people are never on time for an appointment because they don't understand the concept of time, which is also something that's ruled by Saturn. So, don't get upset at them. That's just the way they're built, right? That's just the way they are. Cancer, when Saturn is in Cancer, you have a push and pull between your career, the MC, right? Because again, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, but then the opposite is Cancer, which is family. So with Saturn in Cancer, you feel responsible for your family, especially your mother when she gets old, right? Because Cancer is ruled by the moon, which is family, and especially the mother. And Saturn rules old age. So these people with Saturn in Cancer feel very responsible for their family, and that can interfere in the drive to get a higher position, a position in leadership, because anybody that has been in corporate America knows you got to put in the hours to get to to the top positions in the company. They don't come for free. So with these two placements, it's I just wanted to explain, it's not that these people are being difficult. It's not that your son or daughter doesn't want to pick up the socks or clean the room or whatever. It's just that the energy is not there. The they have a different frame of mind, it's like, for example, if you have um more Mars in Taurus in the third house, your child might have difficulty learning, right? Because the third house is the early childhood, and they might be slow in learning and picking up the material. It's not that they're doing it on purpose. It's just this is the way that they are. So I hope that you have learned a little bit about having uh, placements of the malefics in detriment and fall signs, so that way, It helps you understand your child, your spouse, your friends, and you can find a way to maybe get them to initiate things and finish them and so on and so forth. And if you are somebody that has that placement, well, now you know this is how you're built. So take little steps to try to improve that situation, maybe order a smaller meal at the restaurant so you can finish, you can eat slow, but you finish your meal at a much faster pace, or maybe box half of it, and try to keep up with the rest of the people. Or maybe tell your friends, hey, listen, I'm a very slow eater, so, thank you for your understanding. Anyway, I hope that this video you have found it helpful and you have learned how these planets can affect your chart. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, send it to a friend of yours or a family member that this video might help them, especially if they have these placements. And if you would like a natal chart reading with me, please send me an email to amaastrology@aol.com. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.